is Graceful Exposure coming back to you with another live video. Trying to get all three of these videos done for my subscribers so that you can catch up and on a platform where there's no clickbait. We're keeping you up, definitely trying to let everybody speak all their stuff before we just jump in and give opinion, because when I rush to do something, it's just haphazard. And I apologize, my graphics are a little different because my laptop screen just crashed a couple months ago, and I want to invest in some really good equipment. So you guys get my subscriptions up, put the likes on these videos for the algorithms, and just for the simple fact, hit the notification bell so that you can keep abreast on the political atmosphere that we're in, the agendas that are going around, and I will be able to gracefully expose each and every one that comes to my heart and mind, and that the Lord downloads to me every now and again. That is not me, it's Him. So I try to make sure that I don't say God said to do this video, or because sometimes it's me, sometimes it's God. You know, the Bible says that we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect is come, that which is in part shall be done away with. And you know who's perfect? Jesus Christ. And all this in part stuff will be done away. Just make sure you guys are repenting every moment that you hear, oh, I need to repent. Repent every day, because there's some things that you don't know you've done that you need to repent of, to keep your soul clean, to keep your life covered in the blood, because there's nobody perfect but Christ. And He paid the price for all of us so that we can confess our sins. And He's faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Quick preview, quick preclude. Now, I want to get to the information that I want to get to you on the Fani Willis decision, and kind of go to my home page, my home library, and get some history for you. Go into my history where I can really give you a good description of what actually went on in the decision of the judge dismissing the case. First, Judge McAfee dismissed six charges that they brought, that Nathan Wade, the prosecutor, brought to against Trump. And those charges, he said, weren't proven enough. They didn't have enough foundation. They had a lack of foundation. So I want to get to you on the decision that was made. That I think I have a video from my library. Here we go. History. Just hang on. We'll get to a really good video so I can give you the verdict of what the answer was. And everybody has their opinion on how it came out. They were given bits and pieces, then they would read some more and get some more bits and pieces. So I want to just give you the whole entire decision of what was the outcome. But I want to get you some good graphic information on the outcome of everything that went on with the verdict. Okay, so let's see. Let me give you the best one. Fani Willis verdict. Okay, let's try this one. What you need to know about Fani Willis verdict. Here we go. Let's try this one. Okay, let me turn it around and let's try and see if we can get you some information right away after this commercial. So let's see. 3, 2, 1. Mute button off. Security features. And here we go. The verdicts. I'm watching this with you guys, so I don't even know what it's gonna say, but we're gonna get to it. We're gonna forward to it. And let's see, is it a pretty, no, this is like a 2 hour one. I'm gonna have to stop it if they start reading. So let's see what we can do. Okay, I want them to read the verdict to you a little bit.
Let's see. We have his servant. Happy Friday. And yeah, so Tim, the issue is not my channel. The issue is
I
your
don't
Love
like
Christian
this
channel.
guy.
We were trying to do a
Caldwell
multicast.
Apologetics.
A multicast.
So let me try to get to it. We're gonna watch this together. See if he's got a reading of the verdict here. Okay, let me explain to you what the verdict was. So the verdict was this. Judge McAfee said that there was not sufficient evidence that would disqualify the Fani Willis and her office from continuing the case. But the Judge McAfee distinctly told in his verdict that there was an appearance of impropriety. There was some very poor choices and poor judgment on the part of the DA. And he made her make a choice. And that choice was, one of you prosecutors has got to go. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You didn't win it all the way. And she did get a reprimand from the judge. And that reprimand stated that she made some poor judgment, which I felt the same way. She made, they couldn't prove the case beyond what was sufficient enough for the judge to say that she used funds, that she set him up to get this high paying job so that she could benefit from it. They said they paid um, appropriately their own parts, and she paid him back in cash. So there was no paper trail. And this was the case that was brought from the prosecutors, that there was a relationship before November 1st of 2021. They could prove it. They could prove the money. And the judge ruled that they didn't prove it. And I saw they didn't prove it within a reasonable doubt. They just couldn't prove it. And, but he did say, and this is one of the things that I knew would be a ruling, is that it was, all you have to do is show inappropriateness in such a manner that it's evident that there's some inappropriate actions shown. And his dealing in that was not to disqualify them from the case, but to actually give her the opportunity to choose, either you or your ex-lover has to go. One of you has to go. Both of you do not win. You're going to have to fire him. He's going to have to resign, or you're going to have to resign off the case, or get rid of yourself. And of course, I didn't know what decision would be made, how they would do it. Immediately when the decision came out on the 15th, which was yesterday, Attorney Nathan Wade put in his resignation, and I will find information and read the resignation to you. So bear with me when I get these little bits and pieces so that you can follow along with me. And I will read the verdict as I go through this, because I'm going through this with you. So I will find someone that can give us a little bit of information. I don't know if this is the person to do so. I just pulled up a video, but let's just give them a chance.
Him, the spirit of wisdom
and
understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge.
Let me go and find something that would go straight to, not preaching, because this is a political thing that I want to get out, but let me find something for you guys. Basically, she remains the prosecutor of the case. Nathan Wade did resign, but I want to do it in order and go ahead and give you what I have. Let me try Megan Kelly. Let's try her.
How did Bieber and
let's get to 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Megan Kelly.
Reads as follows. Judge McAfee views cell phone data and the Terrence Bradley texts as suggestive but not dispositive, or as enough proof to settle the matter, according to an Atlanta attorney familiar with his thinking. Texts provide no insight into how Terrence Bradley would know, meaning that they had an affair long before 2022. Did he see them? Wade told him? Now, that is an interesting thought, that the judge is getting ready to dismiss evidence of the cell phone data, the many texts between these two long before they admit their affair took place, and the middle of the night visits, as the texts seem to suggest, and so on. And also Bradley's
I want to get
texts
beyond this
to Nathan Wade, or to Ashley Merchant, saying, you know, it began well before, because he's saying the texts don't actually show Bradley had personal knowledge of it. Could have been speculation. Well, if any of that is true, how do you see it?
That's just dead wrong. There are people on death row. I have a
now.
client
See,
in prison.
I'm trying to get to someone, and I did watch it in my history,
And far,
that
far less
will not
compelling
give
evidence.
their personal opinion, that are way from the left and to the right. I want someone that is actually going to read, so that my subscribers can have dead spot on verdict. So let me just go ahead and take my time and pull up the actual verdict. And people got so much clickbait, you never know what they're gonna come up with. Hold on, let's try CNN. Let's try CNN.
About their truthfulness, a legitimate concern about the truthfulness.
This goes way back. I'm so glad you guys are being patient with me. So I'm just trying to bring this to you. This was just a day ago, yesterday, the verdict. And so I'll just pull up and search on Fani. And here it goes. Fani. I had it all set up for you guys. Fani Willis. And let me go to a date where it's red. And then I'll go to the offer of the resignation. A day ago. Let's see. I'm so glad y'all with me today. Judge reaches decision. How about that? Let's go. And it's going to be a commercial first, guys.
Today, I'm issuing an
Let me turn it around. Wow. 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go.
Guys, good morning, everybody. The news is in. According to a report in Atlanta, Georgia, the AJC, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, now giving word what the judge has decided. Apparently, Fani Willis can decide for her own if she wants to stay or leave the case and take Nathan Wade with her. So we're waiting for more information on this. Welcome to Friday. Dana's got the day off today. I'm Bill Hemmer, live in New York City with my friend and colleague in tow. Here we go. It's going to be a ride.
It certainly is. We're getting some very big news this morning. So good morning, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum, and this, of course, is America's Newsroom. We understand, as you just pointed out, Bill, that this decision is in. Judge McAfee said he would give himself a 2-week deadline.
Right.
That landed on today. So we have all come to know this judge a little bit over the course of the last couple of months. His name is Scott McAfee. He did decide today, and he gave himself that 2-week deadline, as I mentioned. And the decision that he has had to make is whether to disqualify the Fulton County DA, Fani Willis, in response to allegations that she was dating her lead prosecutor when she hired him. And the accusation is that that was part of a motivation for hiring him, and that then the two took some rather fancy vacations together, and that they may have benefited financially from this business arrangement, which it was alleged she created for that purpose.
So Donald Trump's team and his co-defendants say this is all a disqualifying conflict of interest. The case should be thrown out because of it. All these allegations prompting heated testimony. We watched it live. You're going to hear now from one of the first witnesses on behalf of Trump's attorneys. She's now a former friend and former colleague of Fani Willis. She was emphatic. She said she remembered the timeline and she remembered the action when she asked her questions about Nathan Wade.
And do you understand it, that their relationship began in 2019 and continued until the last time you spoke with her? Yes.
as it relates to having the 2022 relationship with District Attorney Willis. I want to say, because my marriage was irretrievably broken, I was free to have a relationship.
You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion.
Well, that is just a slice of what we got from the DA, Fani Willis, in Georgia through the course of all of this. We've got analysis from former federal prosecutor Andrew Cherkasky. But first, let's go to Jonathan Seri, who's been covering this case all along in Atlanta. Big morning, Jonathan.
Yeah, very big morning. The story is unfolding as we speak. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution is reporting that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has been ordered to either step aside or she has to cut ties with her special prosecutor in the case, Nathan Wade, before the case can go to trial. Attorneys for former President Trump and several of his associates had asked the judge to disqualify the DA from prosecuting the case. They argue Willis's romantic relationship with prosecutor Wade creates a conflict of interest. Willis and Wade have testified under oath. The relationship began after Willis hired him, but Willis also faces challenges outside the courtroom. Take a listen.
So this is what happened. They said that it happened after she hired him. She hired him November 1st, around on or about of 2021. And that the relationship ended in 2022 around August, June, sometime. It's all on social media. You can watch that trial. You can go back through my videos. I would put links in the description, but you just have to go through my videos. I may put those links so that you can find them easily and just click on them and kind of go through them and try to put it in order for you. But they cleaned it up to make it specifically appear, or truthfully appear, that they did not have a relationship until after he was hired. So that saved her from losing her job, because then it would have been a little deeper than it is now. So the prosecutors had to prove there was some kind of thing that she violated. They tried to prove that money-wise she benefited, and that the relationship started and she lied on the stand. They both lied on the stand. And Judge McAfee ruled that they didn't show a clear-cut case that happened. But they were able to show that there was some impropriety. And so this was the decision that he came up with.
As our political nature, she has an election coming up, which is now contested both in the primary and in the general election.
And as for the case itself, Judge McAfee struck down 6 counts against former President Trump and 5 of his associates, saying the prosecution failed to provide enough details on how the defendants allegedly committed the crimes. Now, if Willis remains on this case, if she remains the chief prosecutor, she'll have to decide whether she appeals that decision on the 6 counts, whether she seeks a new indictment, or whether she goes ahead and prosecutes the case on the remaining 35 charges. But again, according to this reporting by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, DA Fani Willis has a major decision to make, whether she removes herself from the case or whether she cuts ties with special prosecutor Nathan Wade. Back to you guys.
Okay, a couple of things here, Jonathan. Do you know when the judge will be in court? Will that be today or not? And based on the reporting, I know it's slim thus far, do we know if he gave her a deadline to give him an answer, meaning the judge?
Yeah, we don't know about a deadline. This ruling was issued by the judge outside of the courtroom, entered in the computer system. It has just now appeared, and we are now scouring it along with the rest of you, trying to figure out the details.
All right, well, we'll give you some space to get
I
that
want
done,
to just
Jonathan.
tell you that. Next, we're going to go back to this because right after that decision was made, it didn't take long that Nathan Wade, attorney, her ex-lover, and the attorney Nathan Wade, he sent a letter of resignation, and I want to get that letter for you. So just bear with me. I do have a history of that letter. I believe it was being read when I watched it. So that we just watched, we watched it together. So let me find something in my history of watching where Nathan Wade sends in his letter of resignation. So give me a moment. I'll get that for you. And I'm piecing this together for you because I did promise this to you. And I am catching up for you. It's a beautiful Saturday. It's a day after. But, instead of reporting on something when it first comes out, then you end up having to report on something else and then something else. I just wanted to make sure that all the hoopla died down, and then I would get a chance to find everything for you. So if you just give me a moment, I can skip this and I can find what I'm looking for. Hold on one second. What did I do? What did I do? Thank you for tuning in today. I don't know what happened. I was just looking in my history and it just flipped off on me. And let me get back to my history and find that history right here. And here's the verdict, letter of resignation. Okay, resignation letter. How about I just get you something fresh if I can't find it? Yeah. I think I looked at them, but I said I'll find them later. But let me just go ahead and Nathan Wade resignation letter. How about that? We'll get you something fresh. Fani Willis. And a removal of office, resignation letter. I offer my resignation. Here we go. Ready, set. See if this will give it to us. Maybe they'll read it off. Who knows?
Good morning, Inez Nation.
Oh, this guy will break it up. I don't think he's going to read the letter just verbatim. So let me just forward and see if I have a picture of the letter on here with him. Because, when people have their own opinions, they'll stop in the middle and give their opinions, because that's their show. But Nathan Wade offered his resignation. Here we go. Maybe not.
Volumes, okay?
Here we go.
That actually speaks volumes. In
Resignation
his report,
letter.
The odor of mendacity, which basically, in a nutshell, what he's saying.
He has to talk.
When he says there's
Read
an
the
odor
letter.
of mendacity, and Bill Cowsert, the senator from Georgia, talks about this.
Read the
in
letter.
The interview that I'm going to show.
Read the letter. Can you just read the letter for my subscribers?
Not only is
Come on, just read
not
it.
only
Just read it. Just read it. Just read it. Just read it.
Basically get rid of the trolls and the spam.
Let me read it for you. Here we go. The furtherance of the rule of law and democracy is and has always been the North Star of our combined efforts in the prosecution of those who are alleged to have attempted to overthrow the results of the Georgia's election. Our team is dedicated to ensure that a Fulton County jury in a Fulton County courtroom renders a true and just verdict in this case.
As long as they're constructive.
Let me just mute it and get that off the screen. It'll come off in a second, guys. As directed by the order today in state of Georgia versus Donald John Trump. Donald John Trump et al. We got to get that. There it is. The number there. I hereby offer my resignation effective immediately as special prosecutor for the Fulton County District of Attorney's Office. Although the court found that the defendants failed to meet their burden of proving that the district attorney acquired an actual conflict of interest, I'm offering my resignation in the interest of democracy and dedication to the American public, and to move this case forward as quickly as possible. I am proud of the work our team has accomplished in investigating, indicting. Oh, he flipped off of it. Sorry, guys. In investigating, indicting, and litigating this case, seeking justice for the people of Georgia and the United States, and being part of the effort to ensure that the rule of law and democracy are preserved has been an honor and of a lifetime. I'm sure that the case, sorry, I know he's just ready to get on with it. I'm just ready to get it for my subscribers. I am sure that the case and the team will be in good hands moving forward, and justice will be served. You, the team on this case, and the entire office have my prayers for your safety and your success in the pursuit of justice. It was hand delivered from the Wade and Campbell firm, criminal defense of personal injury law. There's a number up there, you guys, if y'all want it. And in light of fair reporting, let's hear what the left, Donald Trump side, is saying through Professor Ness. He's very negative, by the way. He doesn't do, I try to do balanced reporting as much as I can, but I do give my heart on how I feel about a situation. But what is the main thing I do is I want to give God's feeling towards certain things, or the political, the primary idea behind the thing that the enemy is trying to bring. So let me just go from here and say that a lot of people were upset about this from Trump's side, and a lot of people were happy about this from the Democratic side. So I want to put my little 2 cents in, and I hope I can get a like if you guys think I'm being really, 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 non-biased. But I want to say this. I think Judge McAfee had a civil duty to deal with the case as it was presented, and there was not sufficient evidence. There was sufficient evidence to show that he was at her place at certain times, but not specifically at her place, because the evidence that they used was pinging from cell phone towers. So he could have been at any house in Hapville. And when it comes to justice and the law and things like that, you have to prove things. You have to prove them. You have to be specific. You have to catch things in the act. You have to have specific evidence. There was some discrepancies in the friend of hers making testimony against her. She stayed at her place, and she paid the friend of hers each month for staying there. Actually, the taxpayers paid for it because she moved out of her house and felt more safe being somewhere else. And basically, her friend and the prosecutor, Ashley Merchant, mentioned, oh, her friend saw that she was real close to him, but she didn't mention kissing and hugging. Why did Ashley Merchant leave that out? But when Yurti, her friend, got on the stand, she said, oh, yeah, they've been together since 2019. Yes, I saw them kiss and hug. Well, if she saw that and stated that, why didn't Ashley Merchant bring that up in front of the Senate committee hearing? So she must have known that there was not a specific statement like that in the beginning. And also at the Senate hearing, there was a Black gentleman on the Senate committee that specifically mentioned that this woman, this attorney that brought this case to Miss Fani Willis, this attorney did not have any kind of evidence of anything that was substantial, and she cited cases that had nothing to do with the Fani Willis situation, and he blew it apart. So you'll see that in one of my videos if you want to watch one of my videos. And I wanted to do the double-sided coverage. So watch that video. In addition to that, they have Trump's lawyer. They call him a pit bull. He is kind of rude and mean, and he's good at what he does. But he failed in this case to prove it. And if you want to hear some of the one-sidedness, here you go.
Self-perpetuation, self-monetarily gain, narcissism, and ego. They benefited financially. There was definitely a conflict of interest. There's no doubt about that. Super chat, super stickers. Stick around to the end. I'm going to give you massive shout outs and answer your questions. This is all just legalese BS so far. As directed by the order in the state of Georgia versus Donald J. Trump, I hereby offer my resignation effective immediately as special prosecutor for the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Although the court found that the defendant failed to meet their burden of proving, look at how he puts that in there. Although the court found that the defendants failed to meet their burden of proving that the district
And they
attorney
did
acquired
fail.
actual conflict of interest,
I watched it.
I am offering my resignation. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, I'm going to offer my resignation in the interest of
He didn't say he didn't do
democracy.
anything wrong. He added that.
In dedication to the American public, because that's what Nathan Wade, philandering Wade, stands for. That's what Nathan Mini Cash Mini Me G Wade stands for. He stands for the American public. And to move this case forward as quickly as possible. Okay, that's the key phrase right there. So that second paragraph at the very bottom, and this is kind of the whole reason I wanted to share this, is because why we've been talking about this for a long time, ever since this case really broke and all the trials started being aired live on television, is what has been happening with this consortium that I think is led by people like Schumer, Obama, Pelosi, Michelle Obama, Weasel Schiff, and all the like. What's been happening for a long time, ever since, and now especially since Trump is leading in the polls, the national polls. He's not leading by much, but if there was an election held today, I'd say 90% of legal experts would say Trump would win if the election was held today. A lot of things can happen. Anything can change. God knows they're going to throw more of the kitchen sink at this guy. But one of the purposes of my channel is to expose hypocrisy and raise awareness. Why? Because mainstream media won't cover this stuff. Mainstream media is going to see, here's what mainstream media's narrative is. You see, they're going after the black man. You see, they're going after the black woman. It has nothing to do with skin tone. It has nothing to do with a trait that you have zero control over. This is a meritocracy. This is America. I love my country. The best idea wins. It's not about ego. It's not about narcissism. You hire the best person for the job, the one who worked the hardest, free enterprise, free market, competition. The market decides. Okay? That's the key. That's the key to all of this. But no, the narrative with mainstream media, the narrative with legacy media is, no, see, the black man, they went after the black man. This was all race. Trump is doing his same old tricks again. No, we're after truth, okay? And their narrative is completely hypocritical. And I can't take it anymore. As somebody who loves his country, born and raised here, and has kids, and I want to see this country flourish for thousands and thousands of years, I can't stand to see this anymore. So the reason I'm saying I'm focusing, just bear with me here. The reason I'm focusing so much on this sentence is because they're doing everything in their power. The reason this resignation letter, and we're going to go through Fani's letter as well. The reason we're going through this letter so fast, hey, Red Dog, good to see you, is that, thank you, Chad, I appreciate that. They want to get this thing cooking as fast as possible. That's what they want to do. They want to get this thing cooking as fast as possible because guess what's happening in less than 8 months? In less than 8 months, there is going to be an election. And they are scared.
If you know,
they're scared.
In my prior
Why?
videos,
Because
come on.
If
you know in my prior videos, I have made a prediction that there will be no election, that something is going to happen, guys. I don't know what it is, but I don't think there'll be an election. I think there's so much going on in the world. There's 2 wars going on, and the immigration thing is going on in our country. There's so much civil unrest, and this adds to it. The political climate, the climate of this immigration, influx of immigration that has happened over the 4 years of Biden's presidency with no restraint has got us in a position. The billions of dollars we've sent overseas has me personally feeling like, how dare you send all that money over there? And we have issues for us, Black people, that have been affected by the war on drugs, by slavery, everything being pointed at us. And it's called genocide. Nobody uses that word any longer, but genocide is the killing off of a nation of people in a certain type of way without shooting them, but killing them, destroying them. They're destroying the moral fabric of our people by introducing all of these rappers that are just have no morals in the lyrics of their songs anymore, on how sexually perverse they're trying to raise our children, so that eventually our children don't know if they're boys or girls, girls or boys. And then they're trying to push an agenda of taking, giving the children the opportunity to say what sex they are, and being able to say, I want an operation without permission from their parents at young ages. It is what's going on in the world. So I pray that you'll see this, that it's not just one sided, that it is, um, what she did was wrong. What he did was wrong. I think it was a lapse of judgment. And I do think that Fani Willis has accumulated monies in her position in ways, this is my feeling, in ways set herself up. She and Nathan Wade set themselves up to be able to get this money and to put some away for rainy day, wherever she lays her head at. I just know that in my heart of hearts that it was just a bad decision that she made. And she didn't realize that God is in the justice system so deeply intertwined in it that he is uncovering it, and cannot stand when somebody uses the justice system that he set up for man, for people to be able to get the right things done. And for us to already have to deal with the justice system one-sided and be unappropriate, disproportionately incarcerated more than any race of people because of the lack of justice. He has uncovered so much. I miss the days of Thurgood Marshall. I miss the days. My own sister got a 500 and something $1,000 settlement when Thurgood Marshall was a judge, when she was in Chicago. I miss the days. Gosh, I miss those days in the 80s and the 90s, and just growing up, you know, in the 70s and 80s, and knowing that Black Power was wholesome. And it's a family affair song. It's a family affair. And it's a family affair. They created a family affair movement. You'll see it in BMF, and they changed it to what they have for it now. But it was created to give opportunities for Black people. But now we have gotten, um, this woman is in this office, and I have researched and I've seen where she started. And she started 8 years ago. She had a RICO against school teachers, and she offered harsh punishments for these school teachers that were passing, that had passed students along and had no bad intentions in their heart. It's just what we have been dished out, and they did not want their children to be left behind true, they had to be dealt with in the justice system, but to have such a harsh slap. Look at my video, Fanny's first RICO 8 years ago. I just want to keep you guys abreast of all of this, but I also want to say on the flip side that um, if we remove individuals that are Black to prosecute certain situations that, for whatever reason, they felt election interference was going on, God knows how to see if that's true or not, but allow the prosecution to come and allow the defense to come and let it come in a right way. And don't take that opportunity and fudge it on getting with the prosecutor. Um, if you patted the pocket of a Black man, I don't have no problem with that. But if you patted the pocket of a Black man for your own gain, if you did it to get you some money on the side, I believe that allegedly that's what she did without directly doing it. It was a smooth move, but you can't do smooth moves in the justice system when it comes to God, and He will uncover. And if you saw what happened in 2023, 2024 will be no different. I just pray for grace and mercy on all of us to let's get it right, because He's coming back soon and we do have to get it right. And let's show forth a better example. I'm not going to crucify, not in this video. I already said my opinion in my other videos. You just have to go and watch them. This is video number 2 or 3. 1, 2, 2. I got 2 more videos to catch up on. And I just want to cut it off right here and say thank you for tuning into Graceful Exposure. And I want you to have a happy Saturday. Please go in the description and I'll put some of the links to my other videos so that you can catch up on the Fani Willis cases that I've been covering. And don't forget to watch my friend's channel, Eban Films. I'm going to get into the Young Thug. I got a 3rd video to do. I think I'm going to take a break, but I'm going to talk about the Young Thug RICO trial, which Fani Willis is behind as well. Okay? And she is the DA over that. And just subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. It doesn't hurt. If I get today hundreds of views, each of you just subscribe to my channel. I want to get up to 500. Put me up to 500. My birthday is March 25th. Give that to me as a birthday gift. Give me up to 500. All right. Take care. Peace.